One big SEC guys. We've got a special treat for you folks. We're going to try to do this in maybe a tight 30 to 45 minutes, but we're going to do a little
I'm doing
review
good.
and
Promise to
preview
keep it
all in
under
one
an hour
episode.
tonight,
Joe, how you
but
doing?
I
How you
think this is
feeling?
gonna be good. This is gonna be a one-stop shop for everybody. Catch up on last
Love
week
it.
and then look forward to this weekend.
Well said. One-stop shop for all things SEC folks. Like and subscribe. Let's start with reviewing the games, Joe. We'll go down the list my way. Ole
Whoa,
Miss,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Washington
whoa,
State.
whoa,
That
whoa.
game
Are
was a
we
lot
all of a
closer than
sudden
I think
now
it
just
should have been. Any
randomly 7,
commentary
8
there?
weeks in? Are we changing up starting by times? Okay. All right. Hold on.
Oh, sorry, I'm going
I
by
even
the
did my
results on
notes out
ESPN.
according to your timeline here.
Oh, boy.
Um I didn't make any notes about the Ole Miss game. What is there to make about that game, though? That Ole Miss, here it is. They didn't practice for Washington State. They prepared for Georgia all last
It was
week. I'm sorry, that's
way closer
you
than it
won't
should have been.
convince me. We'll either see it or we won't Saturday, but there's no possible way that Ole Miss prepared during an off week and a week leading up to that game, and that was the effort. Just don't believe it. Just don't believe it. So I think they probably got something cooked up pretty mighty for
Yeah,
Georgia.
I think so too. They were like, what, 30-point favorites, and they won by 3, so that's not ideal, but they're all the way up to number 4 in the country. Chambliss is the starter now, and he's getting some Heisman hype,
He can
so there
call
we go, Ole
plays. I
Miss. Lane
also
Kiffin,
think
baby.
what
The
a
guy can call
blessing it
plays.
is to have, Simmons on all right, I've got walk around, Bill. Come around and say hello to the folks. Um, say hello to the folks.
Boo,
Bill, do you have some
boo.
news to tell all of our
What up,
subscribers and
Bill?
listeners? What'd you do Sunday get on camera here. What'd you do
Well,
Sunday
maybe.
morning?
I think Georgia has a pretty good chance of, like, beating,
Ole
um,
Miss.
Ole Miss because yeah, they have only lost 1 game.
That's
They
right.
have a pretty good chance.
They got a pretty good chance. I was about to
Whoa,
say, pretty hot.
we're
Do
getting
you wanna tell everybody about
we're
your
getting a good
Sunday
take
morning
here.
or no? What'd we do Sunday morning? Big
Georgia
lights with
taking
Well,
down Ole Miss, I like.
what'd you
I
do?
killed my first deer, guess what happened to that?
We don't have so, anyhow, I
Always
I
good to
I
have a
just
Bill
refuse
Hunting
to
update.
believe that
Love it.
Ole Miss actually prepared, but what a blessing to have Simmons on the bench if they get into a point where it's just not working to throw a curveball at somebody.
Yeah, that is nice, have the depth. Alright, Florida, Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M might be pretty good, Joe. I know they're number 5 in the country, so that's not exactly a hot take, but I thought they looked
Very
really good
similar
against Florida.
my
That game
notes
was
on this were
close, and
very
then they
similar
sort
to
of pulled
last
away
year,
there in the
where
second
they
half.
just physically imposed their will in the second half and pulled away. Um, Texas A&M to me doesn't do anything great, but they are very good in all aspects of the game. Mhm.
Yeah. They can stop
Yep.
the run, they're solid, they can run, they can throw. You're right, they're like a yeah, they're like a
Dual threat
above average
capability.
SEC
They're
offense
not
with
gonna
the dual threat
totally shut you
capability,
out on
and their
defense,
defense
but
is
they're gonna
good,
punish you all
and they play
night
really hard.
and do enough to get their stops. They're gonna get their stops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they just pulled away from Florida. It was kind of fun to watch. Like, they just Ball had a pretty big first half, and then they just started stuffing them every time, and you were just kinda watching, and it was like, whatever it was, 2014 or
Feel it. Yep.
2017, and you're like, "Texas A&M's about to run away with this." You could just feel it, and
Mhm.
then they did. Suffocating. They're like a boa constrictor. Mike Elko, come coach at South Carolina. Um, Oklahoma, Texas. I did not see this one coming. I mean, Mateer obviously back too soon. He looked bad. Um, what do you think about that?
Yeah,
It's cool that he's trying to
well,
come back, but it's like, what are we doing,
obviously in
dude?
hindsight, it was a mistake because he turned the ball over 3 times.
14 days off having surgery on his throwing hand.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely
and he went
you know
20
what it
for
kinda
40.
reminded me of? It reminded me of
Not
Bama
good.
getting beat by Florida State, and we asked Ty to do too much in that game. I think they asked Mateer to do way too much in that first game back, and, good for Arch. Hey, good for Arch.
Yeah. Yeah, Arch played well.
Yeah,
He looked like
yeah,
a classic
yep.
Manning game, like, sort of
So,
a game manager
I
version
don't know,
Manning.
has
I liked it.
do you think Arch is,
He did well.
turning the corner?
I was gonna ask you that. I thought he looked good. I mean, I didn't think he looked great. I'd actually be
I
kinda
think he's
surprised if he
definitely
turned
I
pro
think he's
after this
definitely
year.
staying
I bet
another
he plays
year.
another year in
It's not like
college.
the NIL is gonna dry up, so he'll have money. Um, he
Yeah.
definitely needs work. I think everybody in his camp will tell him he needs work. Um, I thought he played fine and played good enough to win. I felt like the game was more of a attrition where Oklahoma just wore down and made mistakes, and Texas just kinda kept on with it, kept on with it, kept on with it,
Yeah.
and then next thing you
And
know, they were up by 2 and a half
that
scores.
Texas defense, yeah. And the other big storyline for the Texas fans I think is important to call out, their running back, Quintravian Wisner's been hurt,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
and he's back now. He's healthy, and he was toting the rock that game. He looked good. I foolishly took the under on his rushing yards because I was like, he's not getting a lot of touches. He's been hurt." Then that first possession,
Great
they
way to suck it.
gave it to him about 8 times and scored, and I thought, "Oh, no. That's not gonna be good
Yeah,
for me."
great way to settle your
He
QB in.
just toted the rock for
Yeah,
about 60 yards on the
yeah.
first offensive possession. Yeah, not good. So I think Texas is, Arch keeps getting better. They got Wisner
I
back.
still think
I
there's
think that
another
Texas
loss
team's gonna
floating
keep
out
getting
there,
better and better.
but that's me.
Yeah, hopefully
Maybe 2
Mateer gets
more,
healthy.
but,
Yeah, I could see it.
great
Alright,
great
give us the
win
quick
on the
highlights,
road,
Alabama, Missouri,
3
Joe.
ranked opponents in a row. Um, I will say this, there's a developing trend, and I think it's definitely a trend in place now that you can see, where Alabama is outplaying their opponents dramatically, and they're not putting the game away. And it's going to come back and get us sometime. I hope it's not this
Yeah,
weekend, but we should have put that game away long before it was decided at the end. And truthfully, Missouri, to have been outplayed, put themselves in a position where on that last drive, a different throw might have yielded different results, and a game that we should win would have been lost. So you got to tip your hat to the guys because this is three weeks in a row where they've had to get up for good competition, playing a team with getting your best shot, coming off a bye week, coming off of UMass the week before the bye week. Um, but it was a good character win by Alabama, but they've got to start putting these teams when you got them on the ropes, 17-7, 17-7 with the ball, you gotta put them down. You have to put them down. You cannot keep stalling out. You cannot come out of halftime and fumble the ball away up
yeah.
17-10 and let them tie the
What
game up
about
right out of halftime. Like, you have got to put these guys.
I think the listeners wanna know, what's going on with, Jam Miller and
Ryan
Ryan
Williams has
Williams?
been
I mean, Ryan
banged up
Williams
this
looked hurt,
year. I
obviously,
think
against
Ryan is
Missouri, and then
also
Miller got
facing a
hurt.
little bit of the yips. But it's hard to say that, right? Like, I mean, he's had some drop passes, but hell,
Yeah, he's not catching
he's
the
had
ball
some
well.
great third down conversion and touchdown catches. I don't know. He was definitely banged up though. DeBoer addressed that. He was definitely banged up and wasn't 100%. Still was out there trying, hustling, blocking. Jam is probably I mean, right now he's listed as questionable for this weekend. I have a hard time believing that he's gonna play. I mean, it looked like he kinda saw black when he, went down. I mean, the ball came out he's out of bounds, but
Yeah,
ball came out. I'm pretty sure he's concussed.
bad concussion.
Derek Meadows is
Yeah,
definitely concussed, but the word out there is that no neck or spine, injury with Meadows, just that concussion. I'll be shocked if Jam we can get into this when we talk the preview for Tennessee. I'll be shocked if Jam takes any kind of meaningful snaps on Saturday. I think best case, we're probably looking at LSU. Personally,
Yeah,
that's what I would do. Um, and it's gonna present an issue, but, what do?
hold them
You
out.
line up with the guys you got. Yeah. What'd you see from the game? I mean, I watch
Yeah,
it with
you gotta play with the
crimson-colored
guys you
glasses.
got.
I mean, what did you
Alright,
see
you
it the
wanna
same
keep it
way I
moving?
did? I thought Bama outplayed them. I thought Bama was the better team and didn't put them away when they had the chance.
Yeah, Missouri's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't think Missouri looked very good, but they kept it close. I think Alabama's defense continues to look better and better. I mean, after that Florida State game, I had serious concerns about the defense, and I think the defense has responded well. I think Ty's really good. He's just like a classic he kinda reminds me of if people are gonna hate this, he kinda has a little Connor Shaw in him to me where it's like, he if he has to run, he'll run, but he wants to throw and he's accurate and on time. Um, Guys like that win in college, man. He just he kinda looks like a winner to me.
Oh,
And
we
yeah, I
bottled
mean,
him up.
I was impressed with
We
the
bottled
defense
him
because
up.
Ahmad Hardy for Missouri is so good,
Commanded
and
the tempo of the game
y'all
too. We
totally
really
bottled
command
him
I think
up,
we
so
outpossessed them like 35
that's a good
minutes to
sign.
25.
Yeah. Yeah, the yards were pretty similar, but y'all had the time of possession. Like it. Yeah, I mean, the the road to the playoffs, you're easily on the road. What about Georgia Auburn, Joe? So, let's talk business. Auburn
Do we
goes up
wanna
10
talk about
nothing
the
early,
game
and
and
we're
then
starting to
address the
think,
officiating, or how do we wanna handle this? Okay.
yeah, let's talk about the game first, then we can talk about just the ridiculous
I
the
wanna
whole,
address
like,
all of it.
timeout
So,
clapping thing from
let's talk
Kirby was
so
so
you set the
stupid.
scene.
Like
Auburn's up 10-0.
but it's like that stuff yeah. Yeah, Auburn's up 10 nothing, and we're thinking, like, they're kinda running the ball pretty well. We're thinking, this might be a classic game where Georgia goes into Auburn and Auburn keeps it close or almost wins, and I gotta tell you what, I watched I was flipping back and forth between that game and then obviously the LSU South Carolina game. I'm not impressed with any of those 4 teams,
He's
Georgia,
awful.
Auburn,
He's
LSU, or
awful.
South Carolina. Jackson Arnold stinks. Um Gunnar Stockton, like, I guess he's fine, but I don't see greatness out of him. Certainly not good enough to go, like, win playoff games if they need him to. Yeah, the Georgia defense, I think, is pretty good. Like, I love guys like CJ Allen, but, I mean, like, Georgia doesn't I mean, maybe Zachariah Branch, but, like, there are no receivers that are jumping out at me at studs for Georgia. Georgia's running back rotation's gotten absolutely ridiculous. Like, Chauncey Bowens was looking like a dog, and then he gets 4 touches. Like, what are we doing? Auburn is some, like, weird Jackson Arnold show, and Jackson Arnold isn't good. Like, Hugh Freeze is going to get fired soon. I was kinda watching that game,
So
and I was like, "I don't think either of these 2
yeah,
teams are very good."
Hugh Freeze
Is
quit
that
on this team
unfair?
at halftime. Uh, there was absolutely no life in that team
Yeah.
when it came out of halftime. I think Auburn has an elite defense and an elite defensive coordinator,
He's getting canned any
and
second
their
now.
offense is atrocious. Um, just atrocious. Kirby and
Bad.
Schumann did what Kirby and Schumann do. They make great halftime adjustments.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched that since Kirby was at Alabama. He will he will find out what you're trying to accomplish on offense, and he's going to shut it down at some point in time during the game with his adjustments. So, I thought that was pretty typical Georgia, and then Georgia did what winners do. They found a way to win, and they kept going to the well to get it done, and, y no, well, they don't have a very good offensive line. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but they
don't
can't run the
it's
ball.
tough. It's tough to see. They're
No.
so but they've won so
This is
many
just not
games,
one of
they
those
know how to
classic good
win.
Georgia
And
teams.
so, like, the notes I made on this game the
Yeah, of
notes
course.
I made on this game
They're
were
talented.
Auburn did the classic thing that Tennessee did earlier in the game, is they had an opportunity to put Georgia away, and they didn't. And if you let Georgia hang around into the 4th quarter, into the second half, they're going
Yep.
to find a way to win the game. And, exactly, and
Yeah.
so
Boa
I,
constrictor. Just gonna suffocate you. Man, it's
I
over.
thought that Auburn had a great plan. I thought Auburn executed really well, and then I felt like their coach quit on them. I mean, personally, I felt like him playing the crybaby card in his interview at halftime.
Yeah, and their
There's no
offense
way to
is so
regroup and
bad.
come back from there. You know that locker. You could tell by the way the kids came out. They did not come out fired up to play the second half. Georgia took it to them from play one through the rest of the game, and I mean, I don't know. I cannot. I was a big. It worried me when Auburn hired Hugh Freeze. I beat the drum pretty hard that Hugh didn't just forget how to coach football. He's gonna have a winner at Auburn eventually. Nah, man, that was trash. I think he's been a crybaby here for all year, and
Uh,
I think he quit on
yeah,
that team. I do not think he was a leader of men in that moment. So, um,
yeah, I like it. Joe, quick game of who am I? I'm gonna do an impression. You're gonna
yeah,
tell me who am I. Right here.
I'm actually really
I was
disappointed.
clapping.
I'm really
I was
disappointed in
going like
Kirby.
this. I was
I'm really
clapping.
disappointed.
What was he doing?
I'm
There's
sorry.
1,000 cameras. Like, he thinks he's just gonna get away with that?
Kirby
They kept
Smart is
showing the
supposed to be
replay
a
too, and
higher character
he's
individual
literally
than
going
that.
like this, and he's like, "I was
That was about
clapping."
as bush league and bad as I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, I mean,
Let's
that
change
was
his last
bad.
name. Kirby
I'm
Dunn
gonna go
did
back to
a
the goal line call,
got him.
Daniel.
Hilarious.
I don't have a problem with them saying what'd you say?
The
Yeah,
one they blew
yeah,
dead.
I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with them
The one
saying
they blew dead.
that the ball was moving
That
before
was ridiculous.
Arnold got in. The way I saw it, it looked like that ball touched the plane. It looked like a touchdown to me. Y'all know I do not like Auburn, but that's what it looked like to me. But if you're not going to call a touchdown there and you're gonna say the ball was moving and there was a fumble, the Georgia guy picked it up, was never down, and ran it back for a touchdown. So, it was a touchdown. Pick your team to give it
Cleanly
to,
scooped and
but it
scores.
in
Yeah.
no circumstance was it Georgia's ball at the half
100%.
foot line. It wasn't. That's
100%.
not what it should have been. So, I don't know how we keep having these issues with with the officiating in the Southeastern Conference, but we like to give out our big SEC guys of the week, our
Seriously.
superlatives. The Southeastern Conference officiating crew is a non-SEC. They are the little SEC guys. They do not have a seat at the table.
They're the
It is
loser
bad.
NBC
On a
guys of the
consistent
SU League.
basis, it's bad. Very rarely do I walk away from an SEC game and think that, "Wow, that was a well officiated game." It's usually like, "God, they were awful. Like, why were they blowing the ball dead? How many reviews we're gonna have to?" It was almost 40 minutes between the last minute and a half of game time was almost 40 minutes long. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Alright, let's talk Gamecocks LSU, Joe. I'll do a quick rant here, just let you listeners know how I feel. I am absolutely disgusted with this South Carolina team, parentheses, offensively. So, I'll start with this, we fired our offensive line coach on Sunday after the game, as we should have, because we have one of the worst offensive lines in the country, and it's literally littered with 4 and 5-star guys, and we're absolutely terrible. Makes no sense. So we fired our offensive line coach, which was long overdue, and I was hoping we'd fire our offensive coordinator, Mike Shula, as well, but we have not. We're gonna see if it was the offensive line coach and let Mike Shula keep going. Joe, I'll tell you who else I'm disgusted with, and this is shocking. I think we'll probably need to do like a mid-season report for the pod so we can talk about like who's good, who's bad. Lenore Sellers looked absolutely terrible. Um, he stinks, and I'm worried he's in full like NFL draft stock. I'm calling it NFL draft protection mode. 'Cause he just, like, doesn't take people on. He did it twice where he could have gotten a first down, and instead he runs out of bounds short of the sticks. And this time he, like, ran out of bounds and, like, held the ball out, and the LSU guy hit the ball, like, fumble. Unfortunately, it bounced out of bounds, but you're like, that's something you would coach, like,
you
Bill
know
and
what
his
Lenore
friends not to
Sellers
do
has right now? He's got that
in
Jalen
their
Milroe.
U5 flag football. So, like Oh my gosh, Joe, he's so ready to go to the NFL. And people are like, "Well, the offensive line stinks. There's nothing he can do." And it's like, well, I think the offensive line is so bad, he's, like, almost seeing ghosts where it's like he gets the ball, he immediately runs backwards, and he's like, "Alright, make a play." The best stat I saw is he ran, if you include, like, him running backwards, side to side, forward, all that, he ran a total of 934 yards
31.
in terms of, like, distance covered.
Oh,
You know how many rushing yards he had? 22. So
he ran over
he
half a
covered
mile. He ran over
934
half a
yards
mile.
of ground to get 22 yards, folks. That is I saw that stat and I truly did not believe it, and then I kept seeing it
Yeah.
reported, and then, like, PFF retweeted it, and I was like, "These are professional statisticians who are reporting this, so this is a legitimate stat." Our offense is disgusting. Joe, LSU should have won that game 34-10. They fumbled on the 1-yard line, and we got an interception in the end zone, so it's like our defense did what they needed to do, but LSU dominated us. I'm disgusted with the South Carolina team. I'm honestly pretty disgusted with Shane Beamer. Like, the guy can't hire an offensive coordinator. What are we doing? Um, so I'm very frustrated. I guess that's all I'll say. Nothing really to add for the game. Our coaches, I think, are just not competent. A good example, we put in this young running back, Matthew Fuller. His first carry, he breaks off a 75-yard touchdown, like, puts his foot in the ground, hits the hole, breaks a tackle, he's gone. And this was, like, early in the first quarter.
Ah,
And then he,
lovely.
doesn't get a carry again until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what does he have to do? What do you have to do to
Just
play? You can't.
1
He was
carry,
literally
75
perfect.
yards,
You can't do
touchdown.
better than what he did.
Great. Yep.
Touchdown. Literally. Would still be running if he if they didn't stop him at the end zone. And it's like, what does this guy have to do to play? So I'm pretty disgusted with the South Carolina coaching staff, and I'm honestly I'm pretty disgusted with most of the players. We had some freshman wide receivers get catches. Those guys have the juice, man. Hopefully they don't leave when we retool our entire coaching staff because we have 2 or 3 freshman
Well, I
wide
tell
receivers
you,
that are
do
absolute
you want some
dogs. So
outside
that's a good thing.
non-bias? All right. It is good to
Yeah,
see your defense
yeah.
bring
Let
it.
me hear the outsider.
That's that's good to see. I do feel totally
Yeah,
vindicated
Clayton White's
in
the
having
man, our
Lenore
defensive
Sellers
coordinator.
outside of my top 5 to start the season. And what did I tell you? It wasn't a talent thing with
Oh,
him.
you nailed it.
It was totally dependent on the people around him, and that's why I had him there. I don't know what to tell you about the offensive line. You can't all those guys can't be 4 and 5-star busts. Um, I just don't think you're running a
It's gotta
scheme,
be the coaching.
whether
Yeah.
it's Shula or the offensive line. I mean, I just don't I just don't think you're running a scheme that brings out the best in your players on offense.
Like, how hard is it to just go hat on hat? Block the guy in front of you. People are like, "Well, you can't do that." I'm like, "It can't get any worse." What, it's gonna
Well,
get worse? We're gonna be dead
I
last
mean,
again like we
I'm
already
not a
are?
big proponent of running the quarterback.
Try
I
something
think your
different.
running backs are meant to be running backs for a reason. However, when you have a guy like Sellers, I just think I think you gotta tell him that he's gotta tote it. I mean, he's gotta be the man. And, you can't be doing this sliding,
Yeah.
getting out of bounds. I'm not telling you to put your body in harm's way consistently, but if you can make a first down, you're gonna have to absorb some contact.
Yeah, north, south. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I said on the message boards out of the game, and I was frustrated, but I've said on the message boards and thought, "I'm gonna get flamed for this," and it was the opposite. I think I posted something like, "If I'm Beamer or Shula, I'm going to Norris and saying, 'Look,
You want me to
like,
put you on I mean, do you want me to put you on the
you gotta
injury
start
report
taking
and we'll
on
just make up an
contact.'"
injury
I
and
know
you can
that
go
seems
the rest of the year?
counterintuitive.
You've got a sprained ankle. Is that what you want? 'Cause if that's what you want, we'll do it. Well, I'm not gonna
Literally.
bench you. You mean too much to the program. Not gonna bench
You
you.
can go
But if you don't
train
wanna
for the NFL
play,
draft.
I'm not gonna play you. That's fine. But we need to know because you're hurting the team.
I love that. Yeah, we'll say you've got, like, a weird ankle,
Yeah.
and then you go train for 6 months and go to the draft. I mean, I feel like that's what he wants to do because Him, like, just running out of bounds 2 yards short of the first down marker when there's 5 more yards to gain is so frustrating. Because then we false start and punt, and I'm like, "How many times we're gonna do this?" Like, those are drive killers. Ugh, too
They're
much
good.
South Carolina talk.
They're
LSU's
good.
pretty
I
good. That
wasn't
defense is
sold on
good.
them. Yeah, I wasn't sold on
I love
them. I'm
those
still
Weeks
not
guys.
sold all
Those
the
Weeks
way on
guys were
them, but
everywhere.
they're better than I thought they were a couple weeks ago.
Those Weeks guys are good, and then their DBs are so good, man. Oh my gosh. They were blanketing Nick Harbor and Jacobs, our 2 best receivers, absolutely blanketed. So I think that LSU team, yeah, their offense was kinda weird too. They made a bunch of dumb mistakes, but that defense is good. And that Trades
Mhm.
Green guy finally got some run, Joe. They're, like, super tall wide receiver. That dude's a dog. He's, like, 6'8". He's huge.
Well, I have more important things to worry about than LSU
He
for right
killed us. We
now, so
couldn't
I'm
guard
gonna
him.
put that
I
on
was
the
like,
back
"Oh,
burner for
smart. You."
about 2 weeks.
Smart. Alright, last and final, Arkansas, Tennessee.
Gonna
That
get
was a
somebody,
close one, a
dude. He's gonna
classic Bobby
get
Petrino
somebody this
4th
year.
quarter comeback.
No, I
100%.
truthfully, I didn't get to
You
watch
do
this
not wanna
game. I
play
watched some of
Arkansas
the
right now.
highlights, and I looked at deep dived into the stats. Um, yeah, the stats were literally
Each team had
even to
500 yards of
Arkansas
offense,
actually
so that
being
was
on
a
the
fun watch.
upside of the stats. 3 turnovers, story of the game. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Man, it is fun to watch Taylon Green
Bobby's
in
letting it
any
fly.
offense, but in the
He's
Bobby
letting it fly.
Petrino offense, I
Whatever.
mean,
Yeah, he's
they were just RPOing like
you
crazy,
know,
going crazy.
I I don't know. Do you think he's gonna end up being the guy? Are they gonna just you think so? I mean, who else are they gonna go get that would be a better
Yeah.
hire?
I think they're gonna I think they're gonna clip a team or 2, and they're just gonna
What
say, "Alright, we'll give him another shot."
who out there is a better hire than Bobby Petrino?
Right?
That will go to Arkansas, that will leave where they are and go to Arkansas.
I guess I'll go.
They're gonna get somebody.
So Arkansas
Somebody's gonna
plays
get got.
4 of their next 6 games are ranked, right? I bet they get I bet they go 3 and
Hey,
3.
listen, they'd have gotten
I
Tennessee
bet
if
they
they
get a
didn't turn it
couple of
over 3
people.
times.
I bet they go 3 and 3 in their last 3.
Honestly
Yeah, if they go 3 and 3, I
yeah,
bet they hire
honestly,
Petrino too.
though,
They're
with
like,
this
"Ah,
Arkansas
that guy
team,
got
it's
got a
not a
couple
bad
people
football
good."
team. I know we talked about this going in that Notre Dame game. They beat Memphis and they beat Ole Miss if they don't turn the ball. If they don't have catastrophic turnovers at the end
Yeah.
and the final drives of
Oof.
those 2 games, they beat both those schools. Well, they 100% beat Memphis. They probably beat Ole Miss. Maybe Ole Miss wins that game. I don't know, but without catastrophic turnovers, they probably have 2 wins, and, Pittman's probably not unemployed right now, but, you know, so, yeah, I don't know, they're gonna get somebody. Tennessee, another close game. Um, that offense is very good, that defensive line's very good, their back end is not that great.
Yeah.
Mm. Power
I
rankings?
agree. I agree. I have some concerns about Tennessee. Um, yeah, let's dive into some power rankings. I'll do some Heisman hopefuls, and then we'll do a quick preview. How does that sound? Let me hear your power rankings, and I'll just
You
live
don't like
critique.
doing them. You don't
Power
like doing
rankings
them
are
position by
just
position. I can tell.
I need to give my brain a break.
Alright.
No, I don't like doing them.
I got
It's too
A&M at
confusing.
1 as a clear 1 right now. Then I got Bama
I
at
like that.
2, Ole Miss at 3, so Bama and
Okay,
Ole Miss flip-flop, and Georgia at 4. Those 3 right there
nice.
are are pretty equal. I flip-flop Bama and Ole Miss because I'm sorry, I have a feeling you were practicing for Georgia all week, but you don't get to play Washington State at home and win by 3 and watch Bama beat 3 ranked teams in a row and not flip-flop, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
and not get leapfrogged. So is that like your playoff
If the
tier? Those
playoff
are your
was
4
today, that
SEC
would be our
playoff
4
teams?
teams. Yeah. Um, right beneath them, I have Tennessee at
Like
5
it,
and
like it.
Mizzou at 6, both of which will have opportunities to play their way in.
Yep.
I think Tennessee is what'd you say?
So you've got LSU pretty
I got
far down.
LSU at 8. I'm getting there.
So
I
where's
have
LSU then? You
Vandy at
got them pretty
7,
far down.
LSU at 8. That's gonna sort itself
Okay,
out. I have
nice.
them basically as the same. You gotta assign a number, but they're the
Oh
same.
boy.
I have Texas in that group too at 9. Oklahoma at 10. This is a
Yep.
injured John Mateer, Oklahoma. Big drop for Oklahoma, but
Oh
they
man,
look like a big drop.
big drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't look
I got
good.
s
Hopefully they look
I got
bad next
State
week.
at 11. I got Florida at
Keep
12, South
going.
Carolina 13, Auburn at 14,
Love
Arkansas
it.
at 15, and Kentucky at 16. I almost put Arkansas in front of Auburn, um, and I have a feeling Arkansas is probably gonna win that game when they play.
Yeah. My only critique is I if you were to pl Arkansas was to play Auburn or
Yeah.
South Carolina tomorrow, I
I
would
might have South
100% take
Carolina too high
Arkansas.
at 13, but I don't know. I
No
just
doubt in
keep
my
going
mind.
back to eventually, and it better not be next weekend, but eventually Sellers is gonna decide he wants to play football again. I'll be su you know. You will. Unfortunately, you'll have 3 or
Once
4
he makes
losses
that
at the time.
decision, we're gonna be dangerous again. Just a matter of time.
But I Go ahead, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
not good. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's look at the Heisman odds. They're getting juicy. They're getting juicy, Joe.
No ties up there.
Have you seen? So I'm looking, I was using the app one of the yeah, I was using one of the Vegas apps. So Ty's 1
Still
now.
pretty
Ty
early.
Simpson's number 1 Heisman favorite at plus 350, the most likely. I think that yeah, I think actually interesting right below him is Carson Beck for Miami, and then right below Carson Beck is Fernando Mendoza for
He's gonna
Indiana.
he's gonna
If I was
he's
a
gonna
betting
put up the
man, Fernando
stats, and
Mendoza
he's gonna
seems
totally
interesting.
consolidate that
He
Midwest,
he's
Northeast
probably my
vote.
front runner. Yeah, 100%. He's got an interesting, like, regional chance to do this. And then Marcel Reed, you drop
They
way
have
down.
opportunities to
Marcel
play
Reed and
themselves
Trinidad
higher.
Chambliss are both at, like, 8 and 9. Gunner Oh, yeah. They're gonna play themselves probably into an invitation if things go well. Gunner Stockton's at 13, which, like, are these guys even
We dropped
watching?
Ahmad Hardy, we
Joey
dropped him down
Aguilar's
pretty
at
bad that
14, he's not gonna win. Garrett Nuss yeah, Mud Hardy's not even in the top 25. Garrett Nussmeier, John Mateer, those guys both dropped massively. Diego Pavia, big drops. It's like the odds makers are kinda thinking it's like a combination of Alabama, Texas A&M, Ole Miss for the SEC, so Chambliss, Reed, Simpson,
well,
that's
it
what we're
doesn't look
looking
like
at
they
right
got
now,
anybody
which is
else out of the
interesting.
Midwest. Mendoza's gonna end up winning it because he's gonna interesting stat, and not to get on my SEC high
Yeah.
horse because we're the big SEC guys, but I think it's Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana play less teams combined that will be ranked the rest of the season than Alabama has left on their schedule.
Not
Well, it just
surprised. Joke
granted,
conference,
there is some rankings
unlike
bias to
the
the
SEC.
SEC because of the meat grinder schedule that it has, right? So I will say there is some bias. However, go look at the out of conference performance so far this year. I think the only real bad loss out of conference was Bama losing to FSU. Every other game, I think sure the SEC dominated. Ohio State and Texas,
Okay,
sorry.
yeah, folks, if we lined up the SEC right now, yeah, if we lined up the SEC and the Big Ten and said the top 16 SEC teams, there are 16, are gonna play the top
I thought
16
I
Big
thought they
Ten
were
teams. I
16
think there's,
also.
what,
Are they
18,
18?
20? The Big Ten's getting so big, it's ridiculous.
Anyhow,
Are they
anyhow,
16
we'll
too?
match them up. We'll
Maybe I
match
made
them
up
up.
that 18 number. Let's say 16 on 16, we match them up. I think the SEC goes, like
Yeah,
at
I'd go
worst
12
12
and
and
4,
4.
11 and 5.
If you go
Unfortunately,
like
some
1
of those
versus 1,
losses would
2
probably
versus
be the
2, 3
top
versus 3, 16
because while we are yeah.
Oh, all the losses would be at the top. Yeah, t number 13, South Carolina playing whoever the 13th b we'd kill them. D don't get me started. 15, Arkansas playing the 15th Big Ten team, that game would be 56-7. It would be, I mean, an absolute stomping.
Yeah, I am too. We don't have to address
Wouldn't
that.
be
But
competitive.
I
Alright,
only
I'm off
say
my
that to say
soapbox, but you
Indiana
yeah.
doesn't have the they're gonna put up a lot of numbers between now and the end. His stats are gonna look very impressive. Find a way to win a Big Ten championship in no regional
Oh,
competition, so
yeah, I
you're
mean,
basically
if
gonna have
I'm
every sports writer from out west through the Midwest, all the way up into the Northeast, every voter is gonna be consolidated. You throw in, just say it's
yeah, the entire Northeast, yeah.
Ty and Beck and Marcel Reed, they're gonna cannibalize.
Oh, 100%. That's what's gonna happen. We're not condoning or promoting gambling, folks, but if you're in one of those states, pull out the old phone, Heisman Mendoza. That feels like a really sorta smart, we call that a smart bet. Once again, absolutely not condoning or encouraging you to gamble on this. Alright, let's review the games, Joe. We're at
Okay, I'll
about
try to keep it
37
short.
minutes,
We're
so
not
let's do
talking
maybe a
forever.
10-minute review. How does that sound? Like it. We're gonna do it by time. So the noon game, and this is a banger, LSU Vandy on ABC
Super
in
interesting stat.
Nashville. It sounds
And I
like you
can't
like
I'm gonna
Vandy in
butcher
this
it,
one.
but Vanderbilt has played, something like 189 ranked opponents, over the last I can't even remember how long it was, but in their last say it was something like that. This will be the first time they're favored. This will be the first time that they're favored in a ranked play by when they're playing a ranked team in like almost 200 games. So, pretty cool.
Nice.
Um This game's totally gonna kinda it's gonna be up to LSU to put Vanderbilt away. If you get up 10 on Vanderbilt, they'll implode, and, um,
Yeah,
and I expect, Perkins is the key player for LSU this week. He's gonna be in that similar Justin Jefferson role from a couple weeks
yeah.
ago. He's gonna be floating around everywhere. He's gonna be the key. Expect him to have a lot of tackles if LSU wins, and wins handily, be all over the place. I wasn't very impressed with Vanderbilt's ability to keep pressure off of Pavia. So, if LSU gets after him, he's prone to make mistakes. LSU, if you get up 10, you're gonna win the game. So, that's kinda it. Now, flip side of that is, if Vanderbilt keeps it close,
Yeah,
then look out because that offense can do it, buddy, and I
here we
know
go.
Bama looked really dominant in that second half, but I don't know how much of that was just Bama played a really pretty good game defensively that week, and so don't let it be a game late. Don't That's all I can say to LSU is don't let it be a game late. Go ahead, get up 10, and then start feasting.
Put this thing away. Yeah, I like the LSU defense, taking care of business here. I think they're gonna slow down Vanderbilt, and then from there, it's all LSU, right? I mean, I like this Vanderbilt team, but I think they're a little
Well,
deflated getting sort of
would they
beat
have an off
down
week? They just had an off
by
week, so
Bama, and then,
the script is gonna be good. Right out of the gate, the script is going to be
yeah, they
good for
just had a
Vanderbilt.
bye,
It would
but
not shock me if they score 14 points off script.
this LSU
I don't know,
defense is so
man.
good. I don't see them
The
just, like,
script is a
scripting
powerful
up and
thing,
just
especially when you
marching
practice
down
it.
against
I
LSU.
mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I expect the script to be very good.
we love Jerry Kill. Nothing. Alright, let's keep it rolling. Oklahoma, South Carolina. I was supposed to go to this game, and all my buddies are so fed up with South Carolina, none of us are going now. I guess we're supposed to
Oh, we
let's
also
pick the
real
games
quick,
too.
let me
So
interject. We
we're
gotta
gonna
go
take
over how we
LSU
did
money
last
line
week.
here.
Right.
That's really good value.
We'll finish this and then do that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we can do that. Um, Oklahoma, John Mateer bounce back game, and it'll be interesting. South Carolina's we're gonna struggle. Oklahoma's defense is so good, and our offense is so bad, so Oklahoma's 100% gonna win this football game. It's just by how much.
Turnover,
Um, if there's
turnovers,
any chance of us
turnovers, and
winning,
then
it's gonna be
Sellers needs
just
to
like an
decide he
ugly
wants to play football.
slugfest, an absolute ugly game. Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
man.
and John Mateer
He
needs
did
to, like,
not look
re-break
good.
his
I mean, if
hand.
he
If all
turns it
those things
over
happen, we have a
twice,
chance to
then
win.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did not look that's not
Looked
fair.
hurt.
He looked hurt. It's not that he didn't
Yeah,
look good. He looked hurt. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he's hurt. Alright, let's keep it
I
rolling.
mean,
Texas A&M,
Bobby
Arkansas,
Petrino
Joe.
is
Let
gonna
us
have
hear it.
something cooked up every week. I just I just think if you're Texas A&M, like, don't sleepwalk. Keep doing what you're doing. You're not again, they're not great at anything, but they're very good at everything. So, go up there, take care of business. Arkansas has obviously showed that they're turnover
Yeah.
prone. Capitalize on the turnovers when you create them, and you should be fine. But, man, Bobby's gonna be cooking. He's gonna be cooking. So,
Texas
yeah, he
A&M,
does.
this feels like a minor
Yep.
speed bump in their road to the playoffs, right? They're gonna take care of business. Texas A&M's just a very good football team. Arkansas is gonna be fun, but Texas A&M's gonna take this one. Ole Miss, Georgia, Joe, I'll ask one question. What's the deal with this
Lot of
line? Georgia
points, but I can
minus
tell you
seven and a
this,
half.
every time we've
What's
pointed
that
to a
about?
line that made no sense, we have been better off
This is a
taking that
weird line.
line than we have been not taking it. So I would tell you
It's
to take it.
yeah.
I mean,
What does Vegas
that
know?
Ole
What do they
Miss that
know?
maybe they know LSU wasn't that great and Ole Miss barely beat I don't know. I don't know what they know. I honestly, I don't know what they know. That is a wild line to me, especially how vulnerable Georgia is on the back end, and you know Ole Miss is gonna try. Are they saying that, Chambliss can't stretch the ball vertically consistently? I don't know. I just I'm just
We've
trying
seen
to
Chambliss
spitball
throw it
what I
vertically,
don't know
though.
what they know that we don't know, but there's a reason that line is like that, and if you look at every week we've done this if you just take that
Yeah,
crazy line, you'd have been spot on.
yeah, that's something to look out for. Alright, the next one, Mississippi State, Florida. I'm calling this the "Are we gonna fire Billy
Yeah, he's
Napier"
fired.
game. If
Straight up.
Mississippi State
Straight up.
wins this, Napier's getting
I
fired
I think the Georgia-Florida
same
game
night.
is when they're gonna do
Same
it,
night. Yeah.
personally. If Georgia beats Florida in Jacksonville, that's gonna be the final game Billy Napier coaches. Sunshine Billy, you'll be gone. However, we won't get there if he loses the state. And on the flip side, Jeff Lebby, just keep doing what you're doing, Lebby.
No,
You're
no, they
that would be
they might
rough.
hire Jeff Lebby.
Rough for that would be a rough,
Coach
rough blow
swap.
to Mississippi State if that happened.
Well, coach swap. Okay, but if Florida fires Napier this week, next week, whenever they do, how much money are they gonna offer Curt Cignetti? 15,000,000 a year?
He's gonna
20,000,000 a year?
command any price that
25,000,000
he
a year?
wants, but I'll be honest with you. If I'm Curt Cignetti and I'm 64 and I look out at the Big 10 where it is versus where the SEC is, I know that at Indiana, I can win 8 to 9 games a year and have cycle up years where I'm gonna be a legend. And right now, I'm on the precipice of back-to-back playoffs. There's nothing to say that I can't finish in the top 3 every year in the Big 10. Every year I can finish. At worst, I'll be top 5. I don't know, man. I don't know if the money's worth that. Do you know Indiana's gonna give him a raise?
Yeah, I just
Not if he
yeah, but
goes
people are gonna
not if
say,
he
"Oh,
goes and wins
you didn't do it in the
A Big 10
SEC."
title at
That's gonna
Indiana.
be
Are
the
you
move.
out of your mind? I mean,
Not the
I'm a big
SEC.
SEC guy, but
I know.
I don't know. At 64, you really wanna build one more?
No, I mean, I think Kirk Cignetti's I can make an argument he's the best coach in college football. I know
That's
that's
what I'm
like he
saying.
hasn't
You
won
wanna
anything
but he's
for us to say
64
that, but
years old. If he
look
was in
what
his
he's done. I
50s,
mean,
I'd be all
he's
over
the
it.
king of the turnaround.
64, he's honestly gotta look at it like, I've got about 8 years. I've got 8 years. Now, do I wanna spend 2 of those years rebuilding Florida and have 6? Or do I wanna take these 8 years at the top where I am now and be a legend in Indiana and really try to win a national title? Because you say it, I argue with you when you say this, but you say it, if you're in the playoff, you have a chance to win the national title. I would argue I would argue that that Indiana team last year had 0 shot to
100%.
win the national title, even though they were in.
Yeah, but the
So
Indiana team this year could win the national title,
so
100%.
what I'm saying is he's got 8 years probably.
100%.
Probably not coaching past 72.
My
I
counter
don't think I
argument,
don't
it's
think
not
that's
gonna take him
I
2
just
years to
don't think
turn
that's
around Florida. It would take
I
him
think that
30
program is in
seconds. He would hit the transfer
I
portal.
think I think that program is in
That's what he did at
shambles.
Indiana, he won immediately.
It doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah,
Look
but
at
they
what
have the
that
money.
program
If they
has
had the money
done.
and Curt Cignetti,
Look
they'd
at what that
immediately be a
program has
playoff team.
done to every coach it's hired. It has chewed up good coaches and spit them out.
Yeah, but they're not Curt Cignetti. Alright, let's keep it moving. We're wasting too much time on Curt Cignetti. I just love him so much. I wish South Carolina would just say, "We're gonna double your salary," but that's
This
neither
is
here
a
nor
we
there.
don't even need to talk
Texas,
about this.
Kentucky. Kentucky stinks, folks. Texas is pretty good with Arch
This is a
no, Arch Manning and Wisner dominate this
this is
game.
a
Texas
non-game
covers.
game.
Tennessee,
Arch Manning,
Alabama, Joe. T
I will say this about the
Kentucky's not
crowd
gonna score against
atmosphere,
Texas,
might
fact.
tell you a lot about Stoops'. If the crowd's rocking and the team plays hard for a half, then Stoops probably safe. If
Oh,
it's
it's gonna
empty
be
stadium and the
terrible.
team is lifeless, then he's gone.
There's gonna be no crowd, and Stoops is
Not
gone.
great,
Alright, tell us about Tennessee,
not great.
Alabama. How you feeling?
It revolves totally around Jam
Just 'cause of
Miller,
the
and
Tennessee
I think
offense?
that it's very important.
Alright,
So
okay.
what does Tennessee wanna do? Tennessee wants to dictate the tempo of the game. Alabama has done an excellent job of dictating the tempo of football games
Yeah,
after that Florida State game. We have dictated totally taken teams out of what they wanna do, and we've dictated the way the game is gonna play. So that's gonna be the major clash throughout the night is, can Tennessee speed Alabama up and force more drives into the game? Or on the flip side, can Alabama keep Tennessee's offense off the field? Because that's a rhythm offense. When they're off the field for long periods of time, they get out of rhythm and they will go 3 and out in 45 seconds. They will go 3 and out in 45 seconds and give you the ball right back. So, huge, huge battle of the game. What I don't feel good about is that I don't think Jam Miller is gonna play. And we've seen this offense now with a healthy Jam Miller, and we've seen it without a healthy Jam Miller. And I worry about it's so important to be able to control that tempo and the ball and the time of possession in this game, and then to be able to finish uh, when you get scoring opportunities that I really worry about, even if we're able to control the tempo of the game, scoring field goals or leaving points on the table, and Tennessee quick scoring touchdowns. Um, I do think we're a better football team than them, top to bottom. I think
yeah,
there's places where they probably outmatch us, but I think if you go matchup by matchup, we're probably in better shape. Their defensive line is better than our offensive line, but their linebackers are a serious liability. The back end of their secondary is a serious liability. So again, it's back to this. Okay, can Ty have 3 seconds to throw? If Ty has 3 seconds to throw, we're gonna win. If Ty gets sacked 5 times, it's gonna be rough. Um,
yeah,
and then on when we're on defense versus they're on offense, you know, for so many years, I was so used to Saban and the way he coached defense is he was going to find the one thing that you were great at. He wasn't gonna let you do it, and then every yard you gained, he was gonna challenge you every step of the way. and that's just not how we play defense anymore, so it's a different style of defense. It's gotten tough to look at, and you can feel like you are getting absolutely gashed. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, "Well, daggum, they've only scored, you know, 20 points." It's like, that's not bad. Like, it's not great, but that's pretty good. Or like Vanderbilt, oh my gosh, we shut them out in the second half. I mean, that Vanderbilt game felt unstoppable in that first quarter, and then totally shut them down for 3 quarters. We took Ahmad Hardy,
Yeah,
who people were talking about being in the Heisman race, best running back in the country, and just made him a non-factor. Took him totally out of the game, totally and completely out of the game. So, you know, Tennessee, they've got good receivers. Um, they're a little patchworky on the offensive line, but they've got good receivers. The quarterback, they've done a good job with Joey Aguilar of making this it really is predicated on a 1, maybe a 2 read offense. He has shown to be prone to turnovers. Our defense is designed to create turnovers. We're very good in the turnover margin, so that could be a big point of the game. But I really think this game boils down to, from an Alabama fan's perspective, can we dictate the tempo of the game, which will throw that offense out of rhythm? And then can we capitalize and score touchdowns and not field goals? Touchdowns, not field goals. That's gonna be huge, and then, obviously, turnovers
nice.
always supersede everything in any football game, but Tennessee is much more prone to turnovers than Alabama is.
Yeah,
So you win the turnover battle, control the clock, and then Tennessee's offense doesn't do well when they have to sit on the bench. So that's gonna be critical. Those are the 3 things. You know how I like to give 3 stats to watch in the game. That's what people need to look out for.
yeah. What to look out for. All right, folks. Final game, Missouri Auburn.
Isn't Auburn
I like
favored?
Missouri
Isn't
taking
Auburn
care of
favored? Didn't I
business
see
in this
that?
one. I know it's at Auburn. Aub-
I think it opened with Auburn
no, it's like a
giving
pick 'em,
points though,
but
didn't it?
I don't understand that. Yeah, but it's moved, right? I've seen either pick 'em or like Missouri -1. This feels like a Missouri to me, Joe. Missouri's offense is pretty good. Auburn's offense is
Missouri's
terrible. I
got a
think
good front.
Missouri's defense
Missouri's
is
actually got
actually
a pretty good
fine
front. The
too.
weakness on
So
Missouri's team is
I
their
think Missouri took
secondary,
care of business
and
here.
Auburn can't throw the football, so it doesn't matter. Um, all Missouri has to do is
Yeah,
score 20 points, and they're gonna win.
exactly right. This is a bad matchup for Auburn.
Yeah, I think Auburn quits.
Yep.
If you want my
And
honest
then Auburn
opinion, I
gets to
think
fire
Auburn
Hugh
quits this
Freeze.
year. Yeah.
I think they've already quit. They lost their captain. There. The quitting's happening. All right, let's look at us last week. So, we took Washington State and the points, 1-0. We took Florida in the points. We lost that one, 1-1. We took Oklahoma. We got killed
Pushed.
there, so 1-2.
Oh, was it 3.5?
We
I thought
took
it was 3.
Alabama, and unfortunately, it was 3.5, and
Lost.
they won by 3.
Yeah. I
Well,
pushed
it might have
on
been th
my
let's
pick'em.
call it a
I had 'em at
push. I like it.
-3 and pushed.
We had Georgia covering. Yeah. We had Georgia covering, that was a win. We had South Carolina with the points, that was a loss, unfortunately. We got kinda robbed there. And then we had Arkansas with the points, that was a
It's
win,
good.
so
How'd AI do?
let's
How'd
call
the
it,
AI do?
3, 3, and 1. How does that sound? Dead even, Steven. 1 was 3, 3, and 1, the other
Brock
one
still
was
being
2,
pretty
4, and 1.
terrible.
Basically yeah, Grok, just you should
I
just
don't think
go
they've
to
won a
Grok and
week
do the
yet.
opposite. You'd be picking it like a historic rate. No, they
Did
haven't
they?
gone better than no, they had a f early on, they had a 4 and 2 week, I think. I'll have to go back and look, yeah. But other than that, they've been 3 and 3 or worse every week. And then Joe, I mean, final thoughts, like, coaches on the hot seat, folks, whose seat is hot? Sam Pittman obviously has been fired, so his seat is so hot it's literally empty. I think Hugh Freeze is on, like, the extra hot seat. He could be fired this week, next week. Billy Napier's gone if they lose to Mississippi State, so that seat's pretty hot. You can make an argument Mark Stoops gets fired this week if things get ugly against Texas.
No, I don't think
Who am I
Beamer's
missing?
there
Anybody
either.
else?
I don't think Beamer's there. I tell you, to me, the biggest tell on all these guys, and if you should fire them, versus maybe firing them too soon is you can watch a football game and tell when the team quits. As long and that's why I swear to you, that's why Billy Napier's still at Florida, because
Yeah.
that team has not lost that locker. Um, and they're still playing hard. Uh, I
Yeah,
really
they're
think
playing
Hugh
hard.
might have lost it at halftime this past week. We'll see how they come out and play against Missouri, but losing your captain early in the
Beginning of the
week,
end.
not good. Not a good look. Not and then, not only that, lot of support on the internets for, for that guy doing what he did from his teammate. I'm sorry. I just butchered that delivery right there. What I'm trying to say is on Twitter and everything, a lot of his teammates were supporting him leaving the team. That's probably a worse look. Um,
Oh, yeah. I saw he said, like, "If you redshirt me, I'll volunteer to run scout
pretty,
team rest of the
that's a
year," and they were like, "Get
pretty
outta
rough
here."
look. I
They
mean, why
just told
make
him
him
to
the
kick
captain if you're not
rocks.
gonna use him? That's what I don't
Not good.
I don't know. They do things down there, they're weird. They have affinity for sheep. I just don't get it, you know?
What Beamer does. Beamer will name somebody a captain, like, there's a guy right now, Luke Doty, the
Yeah,
dude does not
I
play. It's
don't
like, "What
know.
are we doing?"
Yeah, I think those seats are all hot.
Like, the guy
I think
hasn't
we
played
have
in,
to
like,
touch
6
on
years.
former big SEC guy
Captain.
James Franklin losing his job after being in the semifinals last year. Um,
Yeah. I think somebody's gonna wanna hire him. I think that's gonna make these seats even hotter. They're gonna say, "James Franklin's available. That guy's a winner.
so
He's
why did
won, like,
James Franklin?
72% of the
Why?
games
I
he's been the
mean,
head coach
I
of."
know
Like,
why did James Franklin?
very good. The Penn
Can't
State
win the
boards,
big
and they
game,
said
right?
basically the team just has completely given up on him. Well, that they said, like, they didn't even care about that. Apparently, he, like, blew up on the team after they lost to Northwestern. He had, like, a blow up, and the players are like, "We're all gonna quit if y'all don't fire him," basically.
Yeah.
They just, like, completely gave up
Yeah,
on him.
we don't really know, but
That
I
was
know
per
the
their
common
board. Who
narrative
knows
is he
how
got fired
true
because he
that
couldn't
is.
win the big game. I have a hot take on the state of Penn State football.
Yeah.
I don't think you can win a national championship at Penn State.
You can't win at Penn State? We don't have time to do this because we're keeping this under an hour, and we're at 58 minutes and 30 seconds. I think you
I
absolutely
don't
can.
think you can bring in the guys that they used to bring in when they had their best teams. I think those guys are getting poached by teams out of the Southeastern Conference. Um, and I don't think they have a stranglehold over that north kind of eastern mid like the eastern part of the Midwest, Pennsylvania through and then to the coast, New Jersey, and down into that Tidewater area where they had so many great players come from. I sit here and I look at some of these SEC schools that have gone more national in their recruiting and they clean up the best quality that comes out of there. And what they don't clean up, Ohio State comes in and Michigan comes in and takes the rest of. I I don't think that that is gonna get fixed. I don't think you can win a national title at Penn State anymore. I think, unfortunately, it's gone the way of Nebraska, that it would take an unbelievably special coach from an X's and O's and an organizational standpoint to win a national title there, and
The
I don't think
return.
those grow on trees. I don't think they're gonna make the right hire. I don't think you can win it. I don't think you can win at Penn State anymore.
We're gonna bring final thoughts, keeping it under an hour. We're gonna bring Joe Paterno out of the grave. He's gonna win at Penn State
Good
again.
night.
Big SEC
An
guys,
unhappy
Joe.
valley.
That's it. We're done. Good night and farewell. Unhappy Valley.